It's a steal deal. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I went out with my mom last night. She kept getting so many compliments about her top. Remember, Danny? Some like $8 top from like Ross in the States. And everyone was like, I love your top. Where'd you get it? And my mom was like, it's $1,000 from Gucci or something. Just making shit up. It was so funny. But
that's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Winners is steals of deals. I love going to Winners.
Man, sometimes when you like, if you have the time, right? If you have the time, man, thrifting. Do you ever go to Kensington?
No, I haven't.
How long have you been in the city for?
So I give or take 4 years.
Okay.
But it's like hasn't truly been in the city. I've been in North York.
And plus it's COVID, so it's like not like fully city living.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're North York now, right?
Yeah, but I was at York University and I was there for 2 years before COVID hit. And then that was like when I went back home. So I've actually, going into my 4th year now in the city.
Okay.
I need to have Kensington though.
Man, it's literally like 15-minute walk from here. Go a little thrifting. Kensington's hands down the best.
Ricky is a definition of a thrifter. Any deal he will buy.
Maybe not definition of a thrifter, but I love me a good deal.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I see someone, I'm like, do I really need that? But it's 50% off. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy it, and I'll figure out what to do with it later. I'll gift it to someone, or I'll use it myself. Just because fuck, sometimes if it's a good deal, it's a good deal, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you gotta hop on it.
What's your favorite part of the city?
I gotta say, so far, I really like Liberty Village.
Yeah?
Yeah, but also, I haven't really ventured around too much. I enjoy all the aspects. Sporting area, like, went to Raptors game, Leafs, Jays, like, that's pretty sick, too.
Yeah.
I'd say that's probably my favorite area in there. What's that area even called?
Just like downtown, entertainment district, downtown.
Yeah, I like entertainment district.
Yeah, there's not like yesterday there was Jays game at 3, TFC game at 7:30, concert at Budweiser at whatever, like 8, 9, 10. So if you wanted, you could literally do a full day of activities. Like my dream, like literally my fucking dream.
That'd be unreal.
I did it. When did I do that? A couple of years ago. I did Jays at 3, TFC at 7, then I did karaoke at night. So not really a concert, but I'm basically a concert guy at this point.
What's your karaoke song?
Train Drops to Jupiter is one of them.
Yes.
Like I can do it with my eyes closed. Ja Rule, Ashanti, Always on Time. And then actually me and George usually do Hopeless Wanderer, Mumford & Sons.
Ooh.
This is my go-to. What about you?
Okay. I did Drops to Jupiter in Nashville.
Did you?
I legit did it. That's hilarious you brought that up. Yeah, I did in Nashville when I was there watching my buddy played NHL.
Man, it's the best. Who's your buddy in Nashville?
Connor Ingram. So he was the goalie there for playoffs and got to watch him play there in playoffs in Nashville, which is unreal.
That's hype. I've never been to a game, so me and George are both Titans fans.
Yeah.
So we've been to Nashville 2 or 3 times. We're actually going in October, most likely. And
so
my
cool.
mom and dad, when they were driving back from Florida, they went to go watch the Preds play who'd the Preds lose to in the Cup that year? Tampa? Maybe 3 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
So they would have... The Preds lost, but my parents got to watch the Cup being hoisted.
That's so cool.
It's like the craziest thing ever.
No doubt. Like,
even if the home team doesn't win, just like to watch the Cup being like lifted is fucking crazy.
Couldn't imagine. I honestly couldn't imagine. That'd be an unreal experience.
Yeah, man. As a kid growing up, like if you played hockey, that's your dream,
right?
Like you can literally retire after that.
Yeah. So they were playing against Colorado, and Colorado was like absolutely destroying them, and it was just so cool to see like Colorado was in a different league. It literally looked like Colorado was in a different league. So it's cool to see them win the Cup and all that now. So
where were you? I guess what's your team growing up? Who were you a fan of?
Ooh, I was Caps fan and also really liked.
Why were you a Caps fan?
I know, right? Weird. I'm from Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
and I like the Capitals.
Yarmir
Yager. That was the guy.
Okay,
so
Yags.
His flow was like the big thing.
Yeah, that's
and my mom loved him, and I was like a Flames fan, Caps and Oilers. Those were like my 3. And then I kind
Flames and Oilers, I get, right?
Yeah,
it makes
they're
sense.
close,
they're
right?
Close by,
yeah, but the other one just out of the blue, Caps, and then Caps have been like the team ever since
because they've been good for like 10 years, and plus when you have Ovi on your team, you can't not cheer for them, right?
100%, and that was why Ovi is just lights out, ruins guys, shoots pucks, gets them in the net all the time, and absolutely like he's. I'd say the best goal scorer in NHL ever.
Yeah, the best was that one year where he had like 112 points and he was minus 55 or something. You're like, how do you score that many goals and have that many points and you're minus that many? Like, do you not know how to spell back check or like what in the world is happening? Like,
literally,
Barry Trotz is probably just like rolling like, fuck, Ovi, get back there or something. Man, the worst.
Yeah, that's the one part of the game that he needed to work on. But then when he did, he started blocking shots. Everybody bought in. They won the Cup.
Yeah, they won the Cup.
So, like, there you go.
If you could play on any team right now, what team would it be?
Vegas. hands down
Yeah,
Vegas.
that's a fucking good one, actually.
Yeah. Oh, the place absolutely erupts. You go to a game. That's on my
Have you
bucket
been?
list. No, I want to.
Have you been to Vegas in general?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've been to Vegas a couple times, but I actually haven't been to a game. And I was talking to Chandler Stevenson. He's on the team, and he just said like,
I love he just drops at no big deal. Yeah, I was just talking about my buddy on the team.
no, but I worked out with them. Like in Saskatoon, we're Sasky guys, and so I skate with them, worked out with
Is
them.
that way? That's what it says? Sasky guys?
Yeah, Sasky guys.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was talking to him, and he was like, it's absolutely electric. Like, you literally walk out, and the fans are going nuts about everything. And it's like, he's like, it's literally like a rave. Like, you go on the ice, and it's a rave. And I just, like, sit there, I just thinking, like, what the heck kind of experience would that be? It'd be so cool. So that's my team.
It's funny when they first launched the team, I was like, this is either going to be hit or miss. Because Vegas, like, it could all be, like, people who just come there from out of town who are in there. It's like, all the casinos buy the tickets and just give them to their high rollers who really don't care for hockey.
Exactly.
Because in Vegas, like, what is hockey, right? People care about basketball and football.
Yep.
And then it turns out that the Vegas Knights, like, first year, Fleury plays, like, the best year ever. They make a cup run, like, just unbelievable team. And, and I remember when they drafted the team, I was like, this team's going to suck. I'm like, who are their top-notch players? And like, everyone turned out to be, not studs, but they turned out to be a great team.
Yeah.
And, they do the, what do you call it? Like a march into the stadium for every game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it goes down the strip. Danny, maybe you can check that. I think they literally have something where before every single game, it's like 6 o'clock, all the fans march towards the stadium on the strip or something.
Oh, my goodness.
Maybe I'm butchering this and this is completely made up, but I think I heard that somewhere.
I honestly couldn't tell you. I haven't done like that much details of watching, but I also want to go to games. So if that does happen, I'll tell you about it for sure.
Yeah, me and Georgie, we were supposed to be going to Vegas to watch the Raiders game. So we're trying to like line it up so we can catch like a Knights game, Raiders game, and maybe something else. Like maybe do a couple pool parties or something.
Yeah.
Have a little bit of fun. Daddy, did you find it? No.
Yeah, there's a parade.
There is, right? Is it every game?
Yeah. 45 minutes before the game, there's a parade led by the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah,
they
come into the stadium and then
It's done by MGM Resorts.
Yeah, so you know this is like top-notch like production too, right? Like I just love to see it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
If you didn't play hockey and you could be a professional athlete in any sport, what would it be?
Great question. I have to go with baseball.
I'm on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. I was talking about this last night. That's the least I would want to do.
Really? What's the one that you want to do?
No, you go. Explain your reasoning first.
Okay, so baseball is super laid back, chill. I feel like I've probably been good at it too. I never did play the game. But
I love it. I've never played, but I feel like I'd be good at it.
Well, no, it's like it's the idea behind it. It's like I have good hand-eye coordination. I'm a small build. It's not like you need to be huge to play a ball player. And I think that the lifestyle is pretty chill. You just hang out. You go to the game.
Okay, but it's like 162 games a year. You're gone for the whole year, though.
Yeah, but then the other half of the year, you're just chilling. You could be playing in
that's like 3 months. And then spring training starts. Like, it's like the most... I think baseball, it takes the most time out of the year. It's the longest season.
You're working 6 days a week. Like, you're
non-stop. What, you have like a 2-week All-Star break if you're not in the All-Stars?
No, it's a week. The All-Star break's a week.
You guys are convincing me not anymore. Like maybe
not
love
baseball. Baseball's one of my favorite sports, but
she's got a crush on George Springer. That's why.
Yeah.
Maybe baseball isn't the thing now. I'm gonna have to rethink this logic.
Wait, who's your baseball team?
Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Jays fan, but I'm gonna rethink this now. What's yours? Fill me in.
I thought about this. Basketball's mine.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah, non-contact sport. So like your mind is still like fully developed all the way through.
Yeah.
You know, like I would love to be Tom Brady, like be an NFL quarterback. Like that'd be the coolest thing ever. Go to the Super Bowl, biggest watch game of like life.
Yeah.
But man, you get just absolutely rocked.
Oh yeah.
Once a week. Mind you only play, 20 games a year. If you go all the way to the end, 22 including preseason. But man, just getting rocked. Imagine like, I don't know, like Von Miller coming off the end and just like laying into you from the back. Like,
literally like these strongest guys out there.
Man, you don't realize like, defensive ends are like they're 6'5", 280 pounds and jacked.
Yeah, like
they're not like thick like fat dudes. No, they're jacked like 6'5", 280 and like 6-pack abs. You're like,
yeah.
Well, that monster's coming at me. Like that's not a human. That's a monster.
No. Yeah. So
I decided basketball. Like your knees are going to be fucked, but my knees are already done anyways. So.
And ankles too.
Yeah, but it's like you can interact with fans. Like you're there.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Basketball's
I'm really shocked you didn't say pickleball.
Oh, pickleball is elite.
You play pickleball?
You want to play with Ricky?
You play pickleball?
He's recruiting.
I have played. Yes.
I'm looking for partners.
Really?
I have a pickleball court.
You have a pickleball court?
Yeah. So
Wow.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad he likes pickleball. When I went to Florida back in Easter time, around Easter, my parents got into pickleball in Florida. My parents are a little bit older. My mom had double hip surgery, so she can't. She's not like super like mobile. And my dad's a little bit of a heavy set guy, so like tennis, they just can't play tennis. So they got into pickleball, and it's like one of the fastest growing sports in North America. I think it's actually the fastest growing sport in North America. So they started playing like Ricky, come play. I was like, look, I just want to I'm only here for like 72 hours. I just want to chill by the pool. Like, no, come say hi to everybody. Your dad's playing pickleball. I was like, dad's playing pickleball. My dad's not really athletic, so I was like, I got to see dad play pickleball.
Yeah.
So I go there. I haven't even like dropped off my suitcase yet. I'm like just like in my airport clothes. Like I'm wearing pants still at the airport.
Okay. Like jeans? Like where are you rocking?
No, I'm wearing like, I don't know, like just like athletic
like
pants.
joggers.
Like Lululemons or something, right? So I literally get there like, oh, you got to play. We'll teach you how to play. I was like, let me just go home. Like, no, we're only playing for another 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, fuck, okay, stick around. I started playing pickleball, fell in love with it. My parents live up in Vaughan, and they have like a bigger property.
Yeah.
So my mom literally convinced my dad to put a pickleball court in the backyard. So we have this like little sports plex now.
No way.
It just got finished Friday. So whatever, yesterday. Or couple days ago. And now we're going to start playing steady.
That sounds
You have a
real.
card? Do you have a card?
I do have a car here, yeah.
Well, after this, I'll send you my address, but whenever you want to play.
Okay, I'm down.
Are you good?
I'm not. No, I'm okay.
Well, you're athletic. You're athletic, though.
I like tennis. I was good at tennis. And
okay,
pickleball
so if you're good at tennis,
like,
you'll be good at pickleball.
Yeah, it should be kind of similar. And badminton I love, too. That was so fun.
Okay, so then you're good.
I'm okay.
You'll be fine. I've been talking shit to the best players in the world on Instagram.
I'll
DM like the number one ranked players in the world. Like, I'm coming for you. They read this and they're like, one guy like liked one of my messages. I was like, good luck at the tournament. I DM'd them. There was like a big tournament a couple weeks ago. So I DM'd him like, good luck at the tournament coming up. He double taps. So I'm like, I'm taking your number one spot. Just seen. Man, it's a joke.
It's actually like America's fastest growing sport in 2022.
Wow, there you go. Fun facts.
There we go.
There you go. Fact checking now.
Ricky's convinced he's going to the Olympics, so
why not? What's holding him back?
This is the attitude I need in my life. This is exactly what I need. I've started training, not like really, but there's no real pickleball like Canadian league. It's not like,
not really.
It's not like this is like a major sport and there's like tournaments in the States where like people do this for a living. Like no, the number one ranked Canadian player is just a dude who like runs a pickleball like court in Calgary or something.
Really?
Maybe Manitoba, somewhere in Manitoba. His name's George Quintero or something. Anyways, he runs a pickleball like little court thing and they play like leagues for fun. And that's the number one ranked player in Canada. Or he's like one of the number one ranked players. So I'm like, hey, if I started training, I have a court in my backyard, in my parents' backyard. Maybe I could do this.
You could. Why not? Like really?
Well, you gotta get a little bit lucky, right? A little bit lucky. The Canadian Nationals come and I just have a really good weekend.
It's very big in Alberta, apparently.
Is it?
Yeah.
There you go. Move to Alberta.
Maybe that's it. We trade. I'll go to Saskatoon.
And that George guy has a squash background.
Oh.
But he's number one in Canada. And he played at the Pickleball Canadian Nationals.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago in Kingston.
Did you check it out?
Do you know what? I just started really paying attention to this like a week before, and I tried to register, but I missed it by like a day.
Oh, okay.
I was cheesed.
Okay.
I was like, fuck. I just want to go and see where I stand, right? Like I'm fairly athletic. Like I work out, so I'm like, okay, like I just want to know what my competition's like, because when I play at my parents' house, like play against my mom and my dad, like I like hand it to them. And then I have another buddy who plays tennis, and he comes by and playing like he's good, but like I can edge him.
Well, that's good.
So I need to see where I stand.
Yeah, but he has his own pickleball line. Like paddles and like backpacks. You don't have that.
Well, he's got to work into
it's
it.
called Churco.
I'll make my own. Pals paddles.
It's got a good ring to it. It's got a good
Pals
ring.
paddles.
It's up and coming. Check it out, 2024. Coming at you.
What other sports you play growing up?
I played football. And
what position?
I was a running back.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you good?
I was. Yeah. Like,
It's such a loaded question.
I don't want to be
If you say
like,
yeah, you're like, I'm cocky. If you say no, you're like, oh, I'm shit.
Yeah, it was like I won an awards for my play, so
you're definitely good.
I was all right. I like did well in that sport, but did that basketball, volleyball, hockey, Roller hockey was another big one.
You did inline?
Yeah.
Did you ever go to Mars? Or what's the tournament called?
Yeah, Mars Blade tournament. Yeah. No, I didn't go to that. I went to Nationals and Worlds. And Worlds was in Detroit, so that was super cool. It was like with Team Canada, and then Nationals was with Team SAS.
You were legit.
I was okay. Yeah. I was an all right. I was an all right player at it. But it was like U14, U12, and then they took it out when I was 14 in Saskatchewan and put in ball hockey. So then I transferred from floor hockey or roller hockey to ball hockey.
Which one do you like better?
Oh, roller for sure.
Way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah. It's the only thing that I like didn't really like was you're in the arena and it's super, super warm and you're in full gear, so you start absolutely leaking. But great workout. I loved rolling. It was, yeah. Like,
the worst part is, too, so when you're drenched, too, and, like, people leaning over the boards, and, like, sweat gets on the floor, and then you just happen to, like, just kind of try and turn on that one spot, you wipe out. Like, foot goes into. I played roller hockey in Thornhill. There's a little league. I forget what it's called. Whatever. I literally grew up playing there, and I'd play every summer.
Cool.
So much fun.
Yeah.
I wasn't obviously as good as you. I was a goalie growing up.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my. Okay.
So I would play as a player just because it's way more fun. And, like, you're literally roasting as a goalie in those arenas. Like, roasting.
I couldn't imagine. I actually couldn't imagine being a goalie in there.
It's terrible. Like, just picture, like, the hottest day in the back of your parents' van with no AC.
Oh.
Like, that's what it feels like.
And, like, you got, like, 28, 29, 30 degrees, and it's humid.
It's, like, grossly, like, sweaty.
Yeah.
So it's just nightmare fuel, man. Nightmare fuel.
Oh, I feel bad for the goalies. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That's why I stopped playing goalie now, because it's like we go to play shinny. Goalies, you still got to dress fully.
Yeah.
Players, skates, helmets, gloves.
Yeah.
You get ready in like 30 seconds. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there like this jerk off, taking 25 minutes to put my pads on. Like, the worst thing ever.
Yeah. No, that would be tough. Like, have you gone to an outdoor rink much?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I play every now. Like in the winter, we have a couple rinks in the city that we go to. There's a couple even around this area, but up north there's a lot more, and they're not as busy. The ones downtown get so crowded.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
and
there's
there's
so
like
many
people
people
learning to skate probably and all that.
Yeah.
Like there was one I went to up by Riverdale Park. And
Riverdale's nice.
Yeah, was that the one?
No, I don't go to that one. It's too far from me, but Riverdale's a nice area.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. Like the arena was overlooking the whole city, and I was like, "This is absolutely incredible."
Was I with you there the other day at Danforth Music Hall when we drove by it? Oh, I was with another friend, but like, yeah, we were at Danforth Music Hall, and you drive by, and you're like, "This is one of the best views of the city."
Yeah, it's so nice. I went with my Dye Beauties there, so it was awesome to hang out with them and kind of mentor them, but also just have some fun. It was a blast.
That is awesome. We mentioned diabetes, and obviously, type 1, right?
Yep.
How's that like growing up playing all these sports? And obviously, you're athletic, you're good at sports. How did that impact it? How did it affect you? Like, what's it like? I don't know too much about diabetes. A friend of mine was just telling me that his granddaughter got affected with. Which one's the really bad one? There's one that's like
type 1.
Type 1's the shit. My bad.
Yeah.
So you got diagnosed with type 1, and that's the one with like the needle every day.
Yep.
Blah, blah. Okay, so tell me about that.
All right, so I got diagnosed at the age of 4.
Yeah.
And it was really difficult for me and my family because I went to the hospital. I was peeing and thirsty all day, and I drank like...
You're a kid, too, which is even worse.
So I was 4 years old, and I was at my babysitter's that morning, and I drank 4 liters of milk before noon. And like something's wrong if you're
why milk,
right? I was
4 liters of milk.
Yeah, I loved milk. Growing up, I was a milk guy. Always was.
Bro, how are you not sponsored by Milk or something right now? Milk.ca. Let's hit them up.
Yeah, so I loved milk, and so I ended up drinking the 4 liters, which is crazy for a 4-year-old. I went to the bathroom over a dozen times. So she called my dad, and he's a nurse by trade, and so is my mom. I was like, "Hey, like you gotta get Kaleb, like pick him up. Something's wrong." So my dad picked me up, took me home, and while I was home, I literally like went to the bathroom and put my head underneath the sink and started lapping water in my mouth with my toothbrush. And he's like, "What is going on with you?
This kid's broken.
You literally like, why is he so thirsty?" Yeah. So then we went to the hospital. He got rushed through Merge. They got poked and prodded with more needles. And then within an hour, the doctor called my dad into the room and said, "Kaleb's a type 1 diabetic and will be insulin dependent for the rest of his life." Fuck. And so, like, my dad absolutely broke down, called my mom in, she started breaking down, too.
Because they fully understand.
They knew what it was. And I, 4 years old, no clue.
You're just like, where's my milk?
Yeah, literally, I was like, I just want to be out of this doctor's house. So I said to my parents, I hate this doctor's house. I'm going to throw this chair through the window so I get sent home. And fortunately enough, the chair did not go through the window, and I got sent home pretty fast.
Wait, you actually tried?
Like I legit was like that mad and angry being in the hospital as a 4-year-old. Yeah, so I got home. I thought I was home free, and turned out I needed another needle 20 minutes later, and then another needle after I ate supper, another needle that night. Woken up in the middle of the night, another needle. Woken up in the morning, a needle. Before breakfast, another needle. After breakfast, another needle. And so that was my life. That's what it became to be. And so being an athlete and a young diabetic, it was difficult. I had lots of people say I should quit hockey. I had one coach that actually cut me from a team and said that you should quit hockey and take up like a less strenuous sport.
Shut up.
No lie. Yeah. Because there's no awareness out there about it. And people thought it'd be like a liability on a team, or I'd be a nuisance or a distraction for my teammates because I'd have to have snacks on the bench, or I'd have to give myself insulin during intermission. They just thought like I couldn't perform the best. So he said I should take up bowling. So if there was a new sport, maybe I want to be a professional bowler. Shout out to that coach. I'll be a professional bowler.
Professional bowler.
I just think of the meme with the guy with the ball. He throws it in, and he gets to like 12 strikes in a row, starts celebrating like, I told you, man, I told you.
I was just gonna mention that. I was gonna be like, look, I want to stay on this topic because it's good, but that meme is the best. Like, who do you think you are? I am. That's right. It's like literally the greatest celebration. I literally pulled it up. I think it's still on like TikTok recent searches because I was telling it to someone the other day. I'm like, bowling can be hype if you have the right dude, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like, you ever see those darts tournaments in Vegas? And it's like, why is the crowd so like? It's first off, it's a costume party. Every darts tournament somehow a costume party,
right?
Everyone in the crowd's dressed up, and you're like, what is happening? And then people get so fired up, and I'm watching this. I have no idea how the scoring works. No idea. It's just dart. And like, to me, they're missing because none of them hits the bullseye, but that's not the point of the game.
Yeah.
And they're just going around, and crowds going absolutely nuts. I'm like, what the fuck? So maybe you're a bowler and I'm a darts player.
Yeah.
Maybe those are professional sports here.
Screw pickleball.
Yeah, screw that. Oh, hey, come on.
I like pickleball.
We're
no offense. I like pickleball. But yeah, back to the diabetes thing. It was difficult. And then like growing up, you'd have people call you fat and overweight. And that wasn't the case because there's two different types of diabetes. There's type 1, where you have an autoimmune disorder and your pancreas doesn't produce any insulin.
Yeah.
So, for example, easiest way to explain it is you have a chocolate bar, your body's fine. It gives yourself insulin to correct the carbs that go into your body. I have a chocolate bar. I stay high, so my glucose or blood sugar is at an elevated level, which is unhealthy. So I have to give myself insulin to bring down my glucose level, my blood sugar. For type 2 diabetic, it's more of a lifestyle factor. So like they're unhealthy with the foods they intake or not really doing as much exercise as they should be. And then they develop a type 2 where their pancreas still works a bit, but not as good as it used to. So that's why you see them more on pills or like low amounts of insulin compared to the type 1 where there's pancreas doesn't work at all.
Is there again, maybe this, I don't know if this is a dumb question. Is there a cure for type 1 diabetes or just the shots daily?
Yeah, no, there's no cure. Insulin is like the closest remedy to it. There's things like artificial pancreases, and they're doing cell transplants now to try to see. We're actually pretty close to cures now today, but it's probably going to be like 5 to 10 years, hopefully, like fingers crossed, around there. And hopefully they start with the children, or I want them to start with the children first, so that the children can have most normal life possible and then work their way up.
Has there been like a, I guess, strong evolution between like, I don't know, technology 30 years ago and today? Like, have you witnessed it? Obviously, you're like 27 now? 26?
Yeah, 25.
25,
yeah,
okay.
So I've definitely witnessed the evolution. So I've had it for 20 years now. And when I first got diagnosed, we have to like poke our finger. There was nothing else. Poke the finger, put it on a strip of blood, like put your blood on a strip, which then goes into a meter, and the meter tells you what your blood sugar is at that current time. And that's it. And we wouldn't know if you're trending upwards or downwards. It was just like at that point, at that time, that's your glucose level.
Can you feel when your, I guess, levels are high and low? Like, do you feel it like noticeably?
Yeah. So when I'm high, I get like tingly sensation. I'm really thirsty. I have a dry mouth.
Mom, where's the milk?
Yeah. So that was why I was so thirsty, was I had a high glucose, so I wanted more milk because I was so thirsty and my mouth was dry. But then when I'm low, I have like shaky legs. I'm tired. I'm weak. I'm sweaty.
You feel like you're going to pass out or something?
Yeah, like you feel like you're going to pass out. You feel like you're depleted. And so those were like the two differences between those.
What's it like? Has it affected your life like outside of sports? Like obviously you're a young guy. Like you I'm assuming you go out, you have fun, travel, do all these like exciting things. How does it affect your life outside of sports? Like, are you at a restaurant, like, I don't know, in New York, you're at Tao or something, and you're just, okay, mind you, I gotta just stick my leg or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, even like you go to a nightclub or something, you have to bring your little pouch, you get searched, and
yeah. 100%.
Do people understand what it is?
So more do now, but like back in the day, like a great story.
Especially you're probably coming from a small town too, right?
Well, yeah, I came from Saskatoon, which is like at the time I was there, it was 250,000 when I was there, but now it's like 375,000. So it's getting bigger. But like in elementary school, I went to the bathroom and I was in the stall, and I'm gonna call him Little Johnny. So I was in the stall, and you know how you go to the bathroom, you see the little cracks in the stall. You probably had to peek through it. You've had somebody peek on you, type of thing. I'm sure you've
probably like my worst nightmare. Right in the toilet, some little kid just peeking through it. I'm like, "Fuck, kid, get away from me!"
Right? Yeah. So Little Johnny, I was in the bathroom. I was a grade 4. Little Johnny came in the bathroom, peeked through a little crack in the stall, and saw me give myself a needle. And he started freaking out, ran out in the school, and said, "Oh my god, Caleb's giving himself a needle." Where he ran out was in the gym, and we had indoor recess because it was minus 40 in Saskatchewan. And so we had indoor recess, and I'm not even like joking, like, it was legit minus 40. It's really cold there. And
I love you preface that.
Yeah, like just for the listeners who haven't ever been, it does get cold. So yeah, anyways, screamed it to the whole gym, and there was like grade 4 to 8 in there. So then I walk out, and I'm pretty embarrassed, and I'm pitch red. Everyone's like, "Oh, are you doing drugs? What's wrong with you?"
How old are you at this time?
I'm grade 4, so that would be like
8, 9.
like 9, 10.
You're a baby.
Yeah, so like just a little kid, and that was like, I felt so embarrassed and shy. Then like now, so like say you go to the bar, I don't even need to bring a package because I have continuous glucose monitoring system on me, which tells me my blood sugar 24/7 to my phone. So I literally just look at my phone, and then I have my pump as well that's connected to my phone. So the pump gives me insulin. So it literally talks to each other like an artificial pancreas. So I literally have this meter in my arm. I think it's this arm over here, yeah. So I have it like in this arm back here, and this tells me what my glucose level is. And then in my leg, I have a little pump right there that gives myself insulin. So it says, okay, so I'm 10.0 and I want to be at 5. Then I'll tell my phone that I'm 10.0. My phone will tell this pump that it wants me to be 5. So give myself insulin. So it's literally an artificial pancreas.
Okay, so there's like big technology
huge
advancements.
Yeah, like, so before it was like, if I'm 12.1 at that certain time, I have to give myself insulin to hopefully bring me down to a 5. And then we'll see what happens 2 hours later. But now I legit can see if I'm trending or going low.
And it's like done automatically.
Yeah, it's automatically. It's literally automatic now.
Okay, so this is huge.
Huge advancements.
Who's the hockey player that Max Domi?
Yeah, we're super close.
He has it right.
Yeah, so yeah, cool. Super. It's great to have that relationship with him, and yeah, he has it too. Bobby Clark was like the pioneer per se.
Okay.
So back in the day, like Bobby Clark was captain of Philadelphia. Huge, like everybody knew about him. And he was like a fighter, tough guy, goal scorer. He was all around.
Yeah.
And
legend.
And so he was like the pioneer.
Philly was like the badass team.
Yeah. Bad Street, and so he was a part of that crew, and he was like the first one who really did it. But I talked with him too, and he said he peed on a stick. And that was how he would know his glucose level. And if it was like high, it would like come up with red. If it was normal and low, it would be just fine. And that's how he knew. And he was like, you couldn't imagine that. And now today, like,
imagine
people
going to the bar and you're like standing in the stall, just peeing on a stick. The dude beside you's looking over like, bro, what are you doing?
Or even like on dates too. Like with my diabetes, like one of the questions I had was like, how do you handle it on a first date? And I was like, you know what? That's a really good question, because like, first dates are big on impressions. First impressions are huge. So, like, you don't want to drop the bomb on them, but you kind of have to. You have to be like, hey, like, I'm a diabetic. I'm going to give myself some insulin right now. And depending on how they take it, like, that's all up to them.
Well, because, it might be awkward. Like, you're dating some girls, like, what? You're going to just pinch yourself?
Yeah, you're going to pinch yourself and get yourself a needle in your leg right now? Like, what are you doing? Yeah, like, are you on drugs? Like, but like, I am on drugs technically, but like, not in that category because I don't do those. But it's just like, it's part of the lifestyle, and they have to accept it for what it is, and that's where you have the confidence to be like, this is what I have, and they're accepting.
It's also
for who
about
I am.
awareness, right? Like maybe 100%. Like 20 years ago, 30 years ago wasn't, and like, look, I'm part of the problem, I guess. Like, I don't know too much about it, and that's why you have these conversations, and I love. That's why we love the podcast, because we get to learn a lot. But maybe 20, 30 years ago, it wasn't talked about.
Never.
There's so many. Like diseases and issues that weren't talked about back then and were like almost kind of like frowned upon. Like mental health is the easiest example, right?
Yep.
20 years ago, you didn't talk about depression. You didn't talk about
No.
suicide. It was all frowned upon, those conversations. Now we're starting to talk about it. You know, Bell obviously like did a big movement on that, and that's great. All these other organizations that are putting money into it now, you know, the idea of even like genders and gender pronouns, all that stuff being talked about now is good, because the more people know, the less awkward those first dates are, or
exactly.
those
and
situations
less
are.
stereotypes, judgments, and I think it makes our world a better place because people are more accepting of different things, where before it was like, if you don't fit this criteria or this genre, screw you. You're an outcast.
Your bowling story here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Oh, you got diabetes. Yeah, you know, go pick up bowling. It's like, bro, I played another 10 years. Like,
yeah, well, it's just like, it was, and those like things also depends how you take them in. Like, it's either you'd be like, okay, well, I'm gonna listen to this guy and it's gonna be my fate, or screw you. Like, I've been doing this for so long, I know how to handle it, and I am capable of more than this. And so, like, that's the mentality you have to have when you have this disease, but other things in life too, like not just diabetes, but other aspects. Say you get into tragedy, same kind of idea too.
Did you ever feel that like at some point you're like, no, this diabetes it's going to take over my life. Like, I'm not going to be an athlete. I'm not going to pursue the things I love because of it. Or did you always know, no, I'm better than this. I'm going to overpower this. I'm going to learn to live with it, and I'm going to beat it. Yeah,
I think it was definitely the latter. And because I had such a great support system, if I didn't have good supports in my life, such as my parents, my friends, and mentors I had growing up, I wouldn't be the person I am today. Yeah. And so, like, when I did get cut from that team, I ended up making the other team, which was like a rival. There was only 2 AAA hockey teams in Sask. And so that was it. Yeah. So at the time,
that was
like,
a tough one. You guys hate each other.
Oh yeah. So we were rivals.
You're like, fuck you, coach.
Well, yeah. And then we ended up playing against them, and I ended up scoring the game-winning goal.
I was literally just gonna ask me something.
Yeah.
Scary.
Oh, and it was just like such a good feeling.
Hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I swept the ice. I don't really ever sweep the ice per se. That was my first time I ever swept the ice and jumped into the glass. And like 10 years old Kaleb having the time of his life right now. But like those are the moments.
You go bowling, coach.
Those are like the moments though that are like so special. And I think for me, it was having that mindset from a really young age and having to learn that there's stuff out of your control and that you have to focus on stuff that you can control. And so for me, that was a big point at a young time in my life. And now I still apply that today.
Yeah. And it's true. Like, even, I guess this is a good segue. That was when you were a young kid and like you learned how to control that. Obviously you can't control diabetes. Like at a young age, you get it. Obviously the crash, you know, 4 years ago, just over 4 years ago now, you can't control that. But what you can control is like what you do afterwards, and like how you've been like an advocate and like helping out in all the situations about what happened. And it's amazing because there's things you can control, there's things you can't.
Yeah.
But the thing is doing what you can with the things you can control, because that's really like what's up to you, right? So
100%.
Man, good on you.
Thank you so much. And that's the cool part about life too, is like we get thrown in situations that challenge us mentally, physically, emotionally. And in those situations that we're getting thrown, we have the ability to choose how we want to respond to it. Do we want to let this bring us down and keep us down? Or do we want to rise above and find that positive from it and continue to build on it? Or how do we want to respond? And I think that's the coolest thing. And one of my favorite quotes is, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. And it's so true, because in life, we get thrown different obstacles. Even today, for example, like me being late, I could have ruined my day, but I didn't let it, and you guys didn't let it ruin your day either, because that was out of my control. But what we could do is, when we get here, make the most of it, have a great conversation, and continue to make the most of the day. Yeah. And I think, like, even another quote too is like, if you're given $86,400, you had that in your bank account. I'm sure you probably have seen this one. $10 gets taken away, stolen. Or are you going to throw away the rest of the $86,390? And no, you wouldn't. And that's the same with the seconds that we have in life today. So for me, like, that's a big mindset and something that I carry on today.
And you nailed both those quotes. I know I've heard both those before. I butcher every quote. You hear me, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I'll say one. I'm like, Danny, can you fact check that, like mid podcast?
Yeah,
I'm saying this because I butcher all the quotes. But no, you nailed both those. There's a story. Do you know the story of the Chinese proverb of the farmer?
I've heard of it. I would love to hear your take on it. Bring it on.
So I've heard this about maybe 6-8 months ago, and it affects me in so many aspects of my life, and I find myself telling it almost daily at this point. So there's a Chinese farmer. So one morning he wakes up, he finds out his horse is gone, right?
Yeah.
So the neighbor comes by and goes, "Oh my God, your horse left. Like, that's terrible news."
Yeah.
And the farmer looks at the neighbor and says, "Yeah, maybe not." Well, the next day the farmer wakes up, goes outside. Horse came back with 3 more horses. Neighbor comes back, "Oh my God, your horse came back, brought 3 more horses. You got 4 horses now. This is amazing news. Like, I'm so happy for you." And the farmer goes, "Yeah, maybe not." Next morning, farmer's son goes out. He's riding one of the new wild horses, falls off, breaks his leg.
Yeah.
The neighbor comes back, "Oh my God, your son broke his leg. That's terrible news. Like, I'm so sorry." And he's like, "Yeah, maybe not." Well, next morning, farmer wakes up, goes outside. The army's coming through, recruiting all able boys and men to fight in the army. Well, son's got a broken leg, can't fight in the army. The neighbor comes by and goes, "Oh my God, your son's not getting recruited. That's amazing. He's not going to war. Like, I'm so happy for you. That's amazing." And the farmer goes, "Yeah, maybe not." The idea of the story is just that you don't truly know if something's like an amazing thing or a bad thing until you let it fully play out. Obviously, there's, something really good happens in your life and you're so excited and you're so like ready to jump in joy. And then something really bad happens and you're so ready to just like end it all. But it's just let it play out. See what the world happens for you. Because you can take a negative, and I hate that I'm quoting Pitbull right now because I just went to the Pitbull concert last night. But you can turn a negative to a positive.
It's true though.
Yeah.
It's so true. I know Pitbull like
I'll talk about Pitbull after, but it's so true. Like, you can turn that negative situation into a positive, like, and just be so grateful for just what's happened, and like, that we're still here and that we're able to do a lot of things we do, because even on our worst days, there's millions, maybe billions of people around the world that are begging for our worst days, that they're praying for our worst days. And that's what I tell myself. Like, I haven't had a bad day, and I don't remember the last bad day I had, because even my worst fucking days are better than 99% of the world's best days.
Yep.
So it's like I have a roof over my head every day. I've got a job. I've got friends and family who love me. I've got amazing people. I get to do cool shit like this all the time. Like, what more can I need?
Honestly.
Like, what more do you need in life? Than people you love, doing the things you love, just being happy, being able to support yourself or your friends or whatever, right? Like, what else do you really need?
No, and that's exactly it. And gratitude is such a big thing in my life too, is just being grateful for even being alive. Yep. And like, it's as like crazy as my life has been, like, I've had instances where I shouldn't be alive, and I've had lots of death in my life. And to understand that you got to make the most of today, because you don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. So that's why everything I do it to 110%. It's not just like I do it 50. I'm going to half go into it. It's like, I'm going to do everything I can and today to make the most of this day, because who knows what's going to bring. Yeah.
And if there's COVID's like the biggest thing about this. Sorry, it's like, that life could be gone fucking tomorrow. Like, even, knock on wood, I haven't lost anybody super close to me in the last couple of years, but it could be taken away like that. So it's like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it wholeheartedly. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put all my energy and effort into it, because I know one day I might not be able to.
Yep.
One day I might not be able to sit here and have this conversation. One day I might not be able to hug my parents and tell them I love them. I might not be able to go to the bar with Danny and get drunk and watch her squander off or do her thing. I might not be able to do these things. So it's like, while we're here, we need to make sure we enjoy and absolutely love and live like to the fullest, because like one day we won't.
Exactly. And you see people that are going down a path per se that is negative or not uplifting them. And I feel so bad for those people, because they have the opportunity to change their trajectory of life and to make that step in the right direction, to make what's them truly happy. So like people that are like, oh, I hate my job, or like I'm just getting by because I have to do this and this, is like, change that mindset to be like, I love my job, or I love this aspect of my job, and move into that positive world and find that positive in that huge negative per se. And your life changes. Your life truly does change.
Yeah. I we had a girl named Emily the Recruiter. What's her real name? Emily Durham. She's like super viral on TikTok and Instagram because she does like helps with recruiting and whatever. And she talked about, it's not about loving every aspect of your job. It's about finding the aspects of your job that you love, because maybe you don't love your pay, but you love everything you do. Enjoy that. Maybe you don't love everything you do, but you love your pay. Well, obviously with more money comes more stress or more headaches, more responsibility. So there's a give and a take. It's about finding that perfect balance. Like, do I love what I do? I'm in construction. Most days I do. Some days I absolutely hate it. Yeah. But I love that, I get to take vacation days. I work with my families. I have, good authority to make decisions, and I don't have much red tape, which I love. There's some people, it's like, oh, well, I do this, but I don't fully love it. It's like, well, find something you love in that.
Yeah.
And if you can't find anything you love in what you do, then it's time to make a switch. Like,
exactly.
For the right amount of money, I could pick up garbage all day long. If you paid me enough and gave me enough vacation time, no problem. I could do anything.
Well, yeah, you just make an art.
Yeah.
Whatever you have, you make it as an art.
And then you try and be the best at it, because if you're the best at it, you will make money. Me and George actually had the conversation with that Emily girl. Just be the best at what you can, and there's a good chance you'll find a way to be successful, and you'll find a way to love what you do. Because if you're that good at something, you tend to normally love it.
Yeah, no, that's so true.
Like pickleball.
I want to bring up Pitbull for some reason, because as we're talking about this, we're mentioning all these like good quotes here. I went to the Pitbull concert with my mom last night.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I think Pitbull is one of the most entertaining performers. And he's like, do you know if you go to like a conference that's all about like motivation, like self-help and blah blah? Yeah. Pitbull is the poster boy for those things.
Really?
He's just talking and like going off on, you gotta live the moment, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. Like, it's all these crazy quotes, and I'm like, Pitbull, you are like the best. I'm like, I love you right now. Everyone's going crazy. There was like kids there at the age of like 10.
Yeah.
And there were people beside us, a couple. They were probably like 65, 70.
I love it.
And they were dancing the entire night. At one point, like, I'm watching this lady dance. I'm like, I don't think her legs can support the rest of her body right now. Like, she's an old lady. And I'm like, I'm watching her dance. I was like, man, I don't know how and like 2 hours straight, just dancing nonstop.
That's going to be you at 75 at a concert.
Yeah, 100%. Why not shake what your mama gave you?
Yeah. I feel like you're a Boots and Hearts kind of guy.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. In Sask, it's called Craven Country Jamboree. So I went
Jamboree.
Yeah, so that's
that's a Sask word. That's a Sasky word.
Yeah, it's Boots and Hearts. That's what it is there.
Yeah. You go to a lot of concerts?
I do. I like to go to like different ones. I wouldn't say I go to a lot. But Craven one was, I saw like Luke Bryan, which was super cool.
Luke Bryan's dope.
Blake Shelton, Dallas Smith.
Oh, so it's a big festival.
It was. It's the exact same Boots and Hearts. They just bring it to Sask
cool.
too.
And it's probably better.
I don't know if it's better.
It probably is,
se,
because like I feel like out there, like there's, I say this respectfully, I feel like there's less to do, right? So like when something big like this happens, that's like it's in everybody's calendar, and the whole town is going.
Everybody. Yeah. So it's super cool.
What else did you do growing up in Saskatoon? Like, again, forgive me for being ignorant. I've never been there. I don't know much about it. The only thing I know about Saskatoon is the Saskatoon Blades won the what's the cup?
Memorial Cup.
Memorial Cup. What, like 8 years ago or something?
Yeah.
Because they were on that TV show, TSN's TV show.
Yeah.
That is the most I could tell you about Saskatoon.
Wow. Well, that's still pretty good.
And the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Are they still called the Roughriders?
Yeah. So that's like a big thing, is the Riders. Saskatchewan Roughriders are huge.
You a fan?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have to be. You have to wear, so I used to wear a watermelon to the game, and it would be like, you're probably like, what the heck?
No, I love this.
A real watermelon. Like, look it up. Fact check it. It's actually the funniest thing. People will wear watermelons to the game, like that's a staple, or they'll throw one onto the field. It's actually ridiculous. But I don't know what the watermelon came from or how it works. But
some dudes probably just didn't have a green hat one day. Just like, I can't need to wear green. Okay.
Yeah, it's green. We're gonna put watermelon on our head, but it's stuck. So like that's extreme.
How, like, do you go to the store and like you have to pick one that's like fits your head? Because like hats are like 7 3/4, 7 1/8. Like you say, okay, this watermelon, that looks like a 7 1/4. I think that'll fit perfectly.
Yeah, it's a thing. So like they even have like fake hats of watermelons, and lots of fans wear it. So that's like a big thing going to Riders.
Those are what, Friday nights or something?
Yeah, those are like Saturday, Sunday, whatever.
A good
Sunday
weekend thing, eh? Good weekend.
Yeah,
one.
so like the big thing is if you're in Saskatoon, you drive to Regina for the day. You go to the game. They usually either like you go with a party bus, or there's a vehicle that will take you there, and then you come back that night. So doing that once it's summer is always fun. I really enjoy going out to the lake though. Big lake guy. My friends would have cabins and all that, so we'd go out camping. As a kid, always camped. But as I got older, I went to my friends' cabins, and that was so much fun. Do
you like wakeboard or water ski and jet
I used
ski,
to.
all that
Used
stuff?
to. I can't anymore with my head injury. Yeah. I try to be smart and safe with that. But the big thing is just like spending time by the fire, sharing stories, singing karaoke out there too.
Do you play any instruments?
No, I don't. I played the saxophone from like grade 6 to 8. Yeah, absolutely loved it, but like that was it. That was all I could play. I actually want to get into guitar. I think when I'm older, like probably like 40 or so, I'd say like give me like some time to be established and all that. I want to pick up that as like something that I can learn and have around the campfire with my kids one day.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Play a little jingle.
I tried to learn the what instrument was it, Danny?
The ukulele?
Banjo.
Oh, banjo.
I love Mumford and Sons, big Mumford guy.
Yeah.
And everyone knows how to play guitar. Like, so many people know how to play. And I was like, I have zero musical talent. Like, when I mean zero musical talent.
Why?
I'm just musically illiterate.
That's tough.
Yeah, like you know when you just don't get something.
But
just
you
like
can sing karaoke.
No,
so
well, I can, but doesn't mean I'm good.
Tone deaf.
I'm tone deaf. I'm just.
Okay.
I'll be at karaoke like, oh, drops on jukebox, like yelling into the mic. Sorry for listeners on that one. Yeah, I'm really bad. So I tried to learn the banjo about 4 years ago. I made it like 3 lessons in, and like I was just like, no, I can't do this.
Oh no!
Like I had one instructor, who's just kind of like an odd character, and I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like I'm in his house, his dogs are just like big, like the big bear-looking dogs are just like staring at me, and I'm like sucking, and I'm like, this dog's trying to tell me I suck.
Yeah.
We gotta get it. So I tried, but I didn't. But I agree with you. Once I'm older, I want to try it too.
Yeah.
Georgie's got a little bit of musical talent. He was a DJ at university. He was pretty good.
And a drummer.
And a
Cool.
drummer, and he also played the clarinet because that's what Greeks do. They play the clarinet.
Cool.
So he was that. So he's got a little bit of musical talent here.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I
Well,
got
good for
none.
him.
So what
That's
else do
funny.
you guys do out there? So I guess
Yeah.
cabins.
So cabin, lakes. We're like known for our lakes there. I
Are
also
there like mountains? And stuff?
no, not really
it's mostly
mountains. It's
prairies.
more, yeah, it's like straight prairies. When people say you see your dog run away for 2 days, they're not kidding. Like it's a thing. So with the prairies, like it's super flat, but it's beautiful too because the sunsets literally like shine onto the gold fields, and it actually looks so nice. But other than that, not really too much to do. You can hang out. We golfed, lots of golfing. That's
You
another
good?
big thing. I'm okay at
Yeah,
golfing.
loaded question. I'm terrible at this.
You good? Yeah, like,
You
that game I'm okay. I had a membership last 2 summers or 3 summers, not this summer. But other than that, like, I wouldn't say I'm too good at it. We enjoy like just hanging out. I think that's the biggest thing is like we really don't go to much. We go to the concerts here and there whenever they come to town. The exhibition is always something fun that we.
You guys have it too?
Yeah,
We got.
Yeah.
Have you been to the one here?
No, this one is absolutely huge though.
You have to go.
Really?
You have.
It's so much fun.
It is
That
like
or
the staple-
Wonderland?
No, this.
Oh, both.
Well, Wonderland's
You have to go to
they're
Wonderland.
completely different.
And it's
Wonderland's
close.
like
It's not far from you.
Okay.
yeah, from you it's actually pretty close. Wonderland's cool because it's just like it's what we did growing up. Like you get season passes that are $100 or whatever they used to be, and you could go as many times as you want.
Wow.
And it was super cool because you get to ride the rides, and it's like an amusement park. The X is more of a carnival.
Oh,
And I say that because
yeah.
they have rides,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like the rides are like
Terrifying.
yeah,
Dangerous.
like yeah. I don't. The only ride I go on is the gondola, just because you get to see all the lights.
Yeah.
It's like it's nice, whatever. Other than that, you have to do the food building.
Oh yeah.
They have
It's all about the food.
Yeah, the
Yes.
craziest food things you'll ever do. Like deep fried everything.
Yeah, deep fried Mars bars. Oreos.
Oh, those are old news now.
Hell.
Now they have like deep fried. I don't even know butter or something.
No, they have that at. I went to the Texas State Fair, which is like the X in Toronto on steroids.
Me and George
Oh
went
my
too.
Yeah, I went a
goodness.
couple years ago. It was the most insane thing I've ever been to, but it was also like deep fried butter, deep fried everything.
They
fried
have
butter?
everything.
Yes.
Do you remember
People
the
eat
donut?
it.
You eat a
People
butter
are sitting there
chunk.
eating chunks of butter deep fried, and I was like, I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Do you remember
But
the
America.
No,
donut
thanks.
burgers?
Yeah,
The
there
donut
was
burgers?
the cronut burgers.
Cronut burgers, yeah.
It was like croissant and like whatever mixed into like couple patties, like 6 patties, cheese, all these different things. People were getting sick,
yeah, it's
Wow.
but
wild.
the food's amazing.
Yeah, and then they have concerts at night, so you can go like listen to music.
Yeah,
You can obviously
yeah.
drink and like have fun. Good date night. I don't know if you're single or dating, but great date
Yeah.
night. But yeah, there's so much to it. It's like it's a nice thing. I think Tuesdays or some days if you go after 6, it's like $5 or $10 or something. I don't know. Danny can check that.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Tuesdays. Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay,
usually
I gotta go then. Is it here right now?
it starts next Friday.
Okay.
So it's August 9th. This is fuck. CNE should be paying us for this plug. CNE. It's August 29th to September 5th.
Oh, okay.
So it's usually like just
Okay,
over
yeah.
2 weeks. So it starts
Yeah.
the Friday and ends. It always ends Labor Day Monday, and I think the final weekend they always do fireworks and stuff too. But super cool. If you want, and I hate that I'm giving away all these free ads. Argos are doing a $20 Argo ticket, and it also gets you entrance into the exhibition same day. I think it's next Saturday. It's like Chinese Day or something for the Argos.
Wow.
So they have a promotion where you get tickets for $20, and you also get access to the X.
Okay, well, thank you for that plug. I'm gonna be doing it.
I told you I'm
But
a
yeah,
big deal guy.
I might. Yeah, I'm single right now, so
So-
I'll have to figure this out. But yeah,
It's okay. It's a good boys' night too. Good boys' night.
Yeah,
We
super cool.
usually do it, and I know it's weird. I'm not a carny, I swear, but I know one of the games. I know how to win a prize like every time. You know the one with the bottle that's on a slant.
Yes.
And you have a stick with a ring, a rope and a ring on it.
Okay.
And you have to stand the bottle up.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just like I figured out how to do it at a young age. Not a young age.
What
probably
is
like
it?
5 years ago.
What's your technique?
Do you know what it is? I watched the guy do it. I was like, that looks so easy. And I did it twice and I couldn't do it. I was like, no, this is ridiculous. I can definitely do this. And then I did it. And once you get it once, you just like figure it out. So every time I go to a carnival, I play the game and I win the massive, massive prizes. So like we had one, we did a road trip back in September, October. We went to the Texas Fair.
Oh, cool.
I won this life-size like pink or purple bear or sloth. And it's like literally bigger than I am. And we just kept it with us in the RV the whole time. And yeah, it's from that game. So every time I go, it's a nice flex. When I like, if I go on a date,
Yeah.
I'm like, I got you a nice prize. We'll plan. I get the
Take it
biggest fucking
home.
prize. The problem is you end up carrying it on a hot day. You're like, I don't want to carry this fucking massive bear. So you give it to some little kid.
Yeah.
It's like the little kid can't carry it. The mom ends up carrying it. You're like, the mom's just looking at it. Thanks for this. Appreciate it. I got to carry this for the next 3 hours.
Literally, you have to put like a little coat check. You put
Yeah.
your bear check.
Yeah, honestly. I want to ask, if we're doing what you're doing now, what would you be like? Growing up, aside from playing hockey, what were you going to be?
Yeah, it was honestly when I was 13, I wanted to be a chiropractor. So
Oh, so you did
I
want to be.
I really did want to do what I'm doing right now. I think I also really
How many
wanted to be.
13-year-olds want to be chiropractors?
I know, right? It was weird. I have back pain growing up, and I tried everything under the sun. And then
So you really got screwed. Diabetes, back pain.
yeah, so I have
fuck.
like Sherman's hyperkyphosis is called, which is like
Sorry, what?
yeah.
Say it one more
We're
time.
gonna do it in layman's terms. So it's literally like curvature of my spine. I have a hunchback. That's like the best way to describe it. So like when I bend over, I have like a big bump on my back, and that was what was causing me pain. So I have like a wingspan of 6'1", but I'm actually only like 5'8". So it's a real big difference.
That's crazy.
And it's due to the hyperkyphosis. So that's just like extended curvature of my spine.
Man, if
But,
that coach found out about that, he'd be like, no.
Oh yeah, he'd be like, "Hey, you
Okay,
definitely
don't even try bowling. Go into like something else. I don't even know what's a less
pickleball."
athletic sports than bowling. I don't know. I don't
Like,
even know.
I think honestly, there's not much. Other
I don't know
than
what's-
bowling.
yeah, what's the
like
less
darts?
athletic-
Darts might be the next.
Darts
one.
might be the next one down at this point. Coach be like, hey, kid, carry the bowling. Darts, you go.
Yeah, but that was like the thing I really wanted to do because that's what helped me the most. But before that, I was always interested in like being a professional hockey player. That was a big thing too.
Yeah.
Playing pro overseas was something I always wanted to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Why
never-
overseas?
I loved Europe. When I was a kid, I was 12.
What's your background? Do you have a European background or no?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, so my grandma is Polish and my grandpa is Hungarian,
Okay.
and then my dad was adopted. And his family is German,
Oh,
but I
cool.
never
So
really
you-
got to be close with them per
Okay,
se.
we got a little bit of everything there.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
you been to any of those places?
Yeah, so I've been to Poland and Hungary.
Where'd you go in
both-
Hungary?
And Germany. I spent all three. I went to Budapest.
Yeah, me and Georgie went there a few years
Oh,
ago.
such a beautiful
so
spot.
cool. It's so cool.
I
How
love
like
it.
the city's like it's Buda and Pest or whatever.
Yes.
So like you go up to like the top of the mountain where the big castle is or whatever. So
yeah.
cool.
Oh, I loved it. That was when I was 12. I went and saw this, and I literally whole perspective changed. I was like, I want to be an NHL player. And after that, I was like, no, I want to go to
play in
school.
Europe.
I want to get a good scholarship, and I want to go play pro and play in Europe. That was like the whole dream when I was a little kid. So it's really different than most children who like, I want to go NHL. I was like, I don't even care. I just want to go live my life in Europe, kind of thing.
You know what's funny? I talked about this maybe about a month ago, and I said going to Europe before the age of like 17 or 18. I feel like you don't appreciate the beauty of it. Like you're saying, like you appreciate it back then, which is crazy. I used to go to Italy all the time. My mom and dad are both. Well, my dad's fully Italian, my mom's part.
Okay.
But we used to go all the time, and like I remember going to the Coliseum at like 12 years old. And
Yeah.
it's like a hot day, 35 degrees, and you're like, I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. Now you go there and you're like, holy crap! Like this is the fucking Coliseum.
Yeah.
Like how it was built. First off, like
It doesn't make
thousands of
sense.
years ago, you're like, okay, like actually, like maybe there was aliens. Who knows? Like that's
Yeah.
crazy. Like you see like the underground like layers and stuff, like the dungeons and all the underground paths. You're like, how did they build this? Like,
Literally.
I'm in construction. I know what it takes to build something like that today, with the technology and like
Yeah.
hydraulics and all the equipment we have in today's society. They had fucking pulley systems back then.
Literally.
How did you do that with pulley systems?
Like, does it make sense to you?
Like, I don't believe in aliens. Well, I don't believe that aliens came here, so I do believe we built it. I don't understand how.
Yeah.
It's like the Great Wall of China. You ever been to China?
Oh, I've been to China. That's on my bucket list.
Amazing. Like,
Yeah.
The Great Wall of China, again, me and George went for his birthday in 2017 maybe.
Cool.
He was traveling the world, so me and my family met him and his family in China. We did the Great Wall of China. Do you know how long it is?
I think it's like 80 kilometers or something.
21,000 or 20,000
What?
kilometers. It is the span of Canada east to west. You can fact check that. I'm 100% correct. 20,000.
What?
Or maybe more. 21.
10,523 kilometers.
The full thing. 10,000? That's it? You sure?
It says, oh, no. Never mind. That's the distance from us to the Great Wall of China.
Google the Great Wall of China. I'm willing to bet it's around 20,000.
21,196.
You know how many bets I've won on that
goodness.
bet? Because people are like, oh, it's like 2,000. I'm like, no, it's because some of it's a path, right? It's not like an actual wall, but some of it's like built on hills, and it's an actual wall, like wall. It was built like thousands of years ago.
Wow.
Like, how did they have donkeys carry these brinks up like one by one? Like how did it? You see it, you're like, this is insane. We're literally up in the mountains, not near civilization, and it's like a crazy wall. It's just as far as the eye can see.
That's
show you
unbelievable.
pictures
Literally,
after.
from Canada.
You have to. It's
across.
Canada east to west. Canada east to west is 10,000 kilometers, I believe. If you
That's-
go from like the Newfoundland or Halifax or whatever is most east to Vancouver Island west, 10,000.
7,560.
So it's almost
So it's
Canada
double.
east, west, and back.
Just trying to like picture that
Picture
and
that.
think of that is unbelievable.
Man, if you have a chance,
Unbelievable.
and I'm sure there's no question in my mind, you will have a chance at some point in your life.
Yeah.
You must go. Do like
Wow.
I don't know, 2-week trip like Tokyo, Japan,
Yeah.
and then go see China, Beijing, whatever. It's just amazing.
That's so cool. Yeah.
What's your
that's-
favorite place to travel to?
So far, it's been, I'd say Europe, probably. I've been 3 times now, so far Europe. If I had to like pick the best spot, Venice, Italy, that really like
Oh,
it
girls
was-
listening are like, okay, he's single, wants to go to Venice. Some girls gonna slide his DMs. Hey, what do you want to go to the X next week?
honestly
is
though,
nice.
Venice, yeah, I loved Venice. It was gorgeous there.
It's crazy to think that Venice might not be around. Like maybe in our lifetimes, it'll obviously be around, but like maybe our great grandchildren won't be able to really witness
No.
it, right? Because
Yeah.
of like high water rising,
Yeah.
tides, and everything.
100%, yeah.
I don't know what the stat is, and don't even bother googling this, but if it rises to a certain point, once the water gets too high, like a lot of the buildings will start to like deteriorate from the
Yep.
inside.
Which is so sad. And even like when I went to Portugal, I was just there a couple weeks ago, and we were in Lisbon, and the tour guide was saying like, this might not even be here. And I was like, didn't really hit me until they said it. And I was like, yeah, like you're right. Like maybe like 50 years, 100 years, like you're probably not going to see this. And that's when it just like, broke my heart. I was like, I feel so bad. Like all these amazing things that have been created and have stand the time might not even be there.
Yeah, I might be going to Lisbon in about a month from now, just under a
Oh,
month.
You got to go.
So we're doing. So again, the reason Georgie isn't here for the listeners, Georgie is currently in Greece. He just proposed to his wonderful now fiance Becca. She's been on the podcast before. She's Danny's best friend.
Aw,
That's how Danny kind of got into this.
that's cute. That's
So he
awesome.
just proposed. So I guess congrats, George, on the pod officially.
Yeah, congrats,
Big-
George.
big
Hey, yeah,
congrats
that's
for everyone
big.
listening. If
I think
you-
it's a big thing.
Yeah, it is. So he's first time, only time he'll be engaged. So this is exciting. But yeah, so that's why he's not here. He's currently in Greece. And the point of that story was,
We're
we're
all
going to Europe. Yeah, we're all going to
Europe.
Europe to kind of celebrate the engagement and like do a end of the
Good.
summer party. So we're doing Mykonos. Then a bunch of the
Oh.
groups go to Barcelona. Me and another
Oh
friend are
my
going to
goodness.
Nice and Monaco. Then we all meet in Ibiza for 5 days, and then most of the group goes home, and then I might do Lisbon by myself. Just because I've never been to
Holy-
Portugal. I heard it's gorgeous.
You gotta go. You gotta go Lisbon and Sintra.
Where?
Sintra is called, and it's like where all these palaces are. There's, I think, 4
Is it
or
close to
5.
Lisbon?
Yeah, 45
driving?
minutes. It's like get a tour.
Okay.
There's a day tour. You can go. You don't even have a half day tour, and they take you to Regulera, it's called, and Sintra, and to what was bugging me? I can't remember this other one. This other palace that's like really so colorful, and those are like the 3 big places it'll take you, and it's about $60, and it's 100% worth it. Like it's that was like one of the highlights of my trip. That, and then like the tour of Lisbon itself was another highlight. And you get like free guided tours too. So pro tip, when you go to Europe, look up free guided tours, and you go meet up with the guide. So the guide takes you to the tour and all around. It's like hour or two, and then you pay what you think they deserve. So it's super cool.
If you enjoy it, you give them some. If it's trash, you give them nothing.
Well, yeah. So like they earn their pay, and it's really great because I had great experiences the whole time with those tour guides. So would definitely recommend it.
What's your favorite part about Portugal?
I love the colors.
Yeah,
I really love like how colorful things were. We were there for the heat wave, so it was like pretty hot. I was leaking a bit. But
glucose levels are skyrocketing.
They're going actually down.
They go down. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Oh, it's all good. But like, they're going down. But the whole thing was just, I loved the culture of it too. Like, so vibrant, upbeat, and even Barcelona when you go. I love it in Barcelona too. Like I was dancing, shaking what my mama gave me on the D floor, and it was just at like some little pub, and me and my buddy were there, and they had like dance lessons. So we learned how to salsa. We learned how to do like, I don't even know what the dances were called, but
who knows?
It was a blast.
You're working.
Like, you just gotta soak up the whole experience.
Yeah.
But I definitely, after this, I'll give you some recommendations, some places to go.
Yeah.
There's so many cool spots.
We've done Barcelona's my favorite city in the world.
Yes, I love it there too.
I've been there maybe about 5 times now, 4 or 5 times.
Wow.
The thing I love about Barcelona is that you get the best of like both worlds. You get like the amazing old school architecture. Like La Sagrada Familia is like one of the coolest things ever. The fact that it's still not built is like mind blowing. But when you get there, you're like, okay, I understand why it's not fully built, because like the attention to detail on this is insane. And like they're doing restoration on a building that's not fully built yet, which is like mind blowing. Then you got a beautiful beach that's basically right downtown. So imagine like Toronto's lakefront was a gorgeous beach.
Yes.
So it's like that would be kind of comparable, but there it's like you have a gorgeous beach with gorgeous architecture. You have like beach bars. Everyone's vibing, like energy is so like upbeat. Like, you know, La Ramblas is like you have that nice like downtown strip vibe kind of mentality. Like I love it. And then Ibiza is my favorite island in the world.
I've never been to Ibiza. I gotta go.
Yeah, I can't tell stories on this podcast about it, but yeah, you have to go. It's an amazing. It's my favorite place on earth. Like I could probably live there.
Wow.
And then Portugal, I've never been. I heard the food's bomb in Portugal too. I have a couple Portuguese friends, and they say it's like top notch.
Yep. Yeah. Just look at reviews online, and they won't steer you wrong.
What I love doing is I love just like, again, walking there, just kind of walking by some place that looks good, and then just going in. I like staying in places for 2 or 3 days.
Yep.
Once I know my surroundings and I'm fully like accustomed to the city, then I know it's time to go.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. It's like, you know, once you're like kind of, and I always like to stay in old towns, like wherever the old town is.
Mm-hmm.
So like we're going to Nice, me and my buddy Dave, and we're going to stay right in Old Town Nice.
Oh, I'll be gorgeous.
So they say there's like all the markets are there, everything's there. So. Plus, you don't end up really staying in the hotel or like the house much.
No, right? Like honestly, we got like the cheapest rooms possible or hotels, and we're out on town the whole time. Like if you're there, you want to see that. You want to experience it. You want to be a part of the culture. You want to be a part of the language. So like
you want to fully live it, right?
You want to be immersed in it, and so that was what we did, and it couldn't have been happier with it.
Yeah. You got any trips coming up? Any like exciting travel plans?
Not really. I just came back from the one. I was in Ireland for a week and a half, shadowing a chiropractor there.
Okay.
Did a speech there in Ireland as well, so I do speaking engagements as well. So that was another.
How you like those?
It's amazing. I
feel like
it.
some can be like super intense, some can be super fun. Like it all depends on which kind of one.
Yeah, it depends on the audience. And I've done like various audiences from like little kids all the way to elderly in care homes. So it's like super cool to have that kind of aspect and different audiences. And yeah, I loved it. And so that was a really great experience. I did a sports team there. They were like called the Gaelic football, and it's like it's not soccer, but it's not football. It's like a rugby. It's like a rugby-ish, but like. It's not really any of those. It's
Is
like
that the one where there's a net on the bottom, but then you can also kick it above too? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I did like one of those teams, and it was like their professional teams. So it was cool to do that.
And those guys are monsters.
Oh, they're
like,
so.
It makes football players look soft sometimes because like these guys are like borderline nuts.
Oh yeah, and like the fact that they're running into each other with their no equipment on and like ruining each other's
full speed.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. But anyways, and after that went to.
They're probably like cracking their back like, bro, like you need to stop playing this sport. Like, pick up football at least. Like football's way more protective than this.
I was doing some soft tissue on one of the guys, and we were at a martial arts place, and he was like, "Oh my goodness, this feels so good," and I was like, "Yeah, it's good." And literally, he was like, "Yeah, I just had a fight yesterday, and the guy couldn't walk after." And I was just sitting there. I was like, "What? What happened?" And he's like, "Oh, I broke his femur," and I was just like, "This guy I'm working on broke this other guy's
bone in your
femur."
body.
I was like, "This is insane."
I need to get out of here.
Yeah, I hope I don't hurt you. Like, just let me do my thing.
Before I want to keep on the speaking engagements, but have you ever watched a Netflix show about that sport in somewhere in Italy or Spain? I can't remember what it is, but it's soccer. It's like handball soccer, but like you can like fight in the middle of sport.
No,
Danny, Google this one. It's a sport where it's like one of the oldest sports, and there's four towns within the city, and you play for your town.
Where?
I think it's in Spain or Italy. There was a Netflix show about it. It's like you can literally fight, but you also have to like throw the ball in the net or something.
Interesting.
I can't remember what it's
I don't
called.
know what to Google. I'm like, fight, throw ball.
Sport
Spain,
Netflix.
Sport.
Netflix. If you find it, it's like the craziest sport. Like people literally like, you're just like punching people. The ball's like a secondary thing. And then once people start dropping, then you start playing the sport. You find it?
That's a wild game.
Is it called Home Game?
Was
Modern Gladiator?
Maybe that's it. Is that the title of the article?
Oh, that was a bunch.
Okay, when you find it, let us know after.
Wow.
But any more speaking engagements coming up? You said Ireland?
Yeah, so that one was really cool. And I got lots coming up here in the pipe. I'm going to Winnipeg and doing one
The
for...
Peg.
Yeah, going to the Peg. I'll be there for quite a while. I'm there from September 4th, I think, to September 8th.
Oh, that's
and
nice. That's a
I
4-day
have
thing.
3 speeches there. And then after that, I'm going to Saskatoon, have another speech there. And then I'm going out to Kelowna, Saskatoon again. Yeah, I got lots coming up here down the pipe. In BC, a couple. So
Do you ever get nervous? I shouldn't say still. Do you ever get nervous?
No, I don't. Because the big
you're
thing
just
for
good at
me
this.
is just like connecting with people.
Yeah, he's good at this.
I don't know if I'm good at this.
You
but
can tell
it's
he's done this before.
just connecting with people. That's the biggest thing, is like having that ability to just go up there, be confident in what you're portraying, and most of it is about like positivity, resilience, mindset, and like finding how to handle adversity and those type of situations. So like
Pimple's gonna be opening up for you soon.
having lived it and like experienced it, and now helping other people, it inspires me. It gives me passion and gives me life too, to help those people who maybe are going through those tough times and being a support for them and finding ways to connect with them on different levels. So for me, I view it as an art. I view it as like fun, and I really have enjoyed the whole aspect of it.
And you know what's the good part is people can see you, and you know, I try not to talk about the crash, obviously, but everybody knows it. All Canadians, most North Americans will remember that. Actually, most people around the world will remember it. And if they can see how you've overcome that, and like you've powered through, and like, look, man, you're in some of the best spirits of any of the guests we've ever had, and like if they can see you like that, they think, okay, fuck, my bad day doesn't look bad at all anymore. You know, it's like putting it into perspective, because fuck, like what you've been through. Let's take away the back and the diabetes. Like, you know, just the crash alone is enough to fucking make people melt. But then, fuck, the back I didn't even know about. That wasn't in the bio, Danielle. Come on.
No,
Thanks for
it's
that.
not.
That wasn't in the bio. I didn't have those notes. But then the diabetes, it's like, fuck, you've overcome so much adversity. And like, here you are, like, still living life, still enjoying it. You got a big smile on your face. Like, you're just like a happy fucking dude, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you got to be. And I think like that's where it comes back to like full circle, is like focus on the things I can control, and like even enjoying the grind of life. Like think about, we all have a grind, whether that's work, school, athletics, academics, relationships, you got business. Like we all have a grind, but in that grind, to actually enjoy the process, enjoy the daily things that you have to do. And for me, that's what I do in my life, is like I have a gratitude journal. I wake up every morning and write down 3 things I'm grateful for, and that sets my intentions for the day. It's like, and it could be the biggest things, it could be the littlest things too.
do you use like a specific journal, or do you just do it yourself?
I do it on my phone notes.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So I know the 5-minute journal became really popular, especially during COVID.
Yes, it really
5-minute
did.
journal. That was a nice one. I have one too. I use it.
Yeah.
I have my 5-minute journal, then I have like a separate journal with like I just write random thoughts and like goals and random stuff.
That's
but then
cool.
My gratitude journal is my 5-minute journal. It's like I don't do the nighttime one because I just leave it at my office. So I do it Monday to Friday. Same thing. Just 3 things you're happy for, 3 things that can make today a great day.
Yeah. And it's so powerful because then it sets your intentions.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, today, you know what? I'm grateful I have a roof over my head. And when I put down, I'm grateful to hop on the pod, like I was actually like super pumped about it.
Man.
And that's like, having this opportunity even to talk and connect, that's what I love. And so
nailed it. I write down some days if I know we're having a pod, I'm like, I hope I have a good pod.
Yeah,
that's one of the things I like. That will make today great. I hope I have a good pod. Because sometimes you have episodes where, like, again, we don't know all of our guests. Like sometimes, like we don't know you. Today's episode could have been, like super sad and super kind of like tear jerky, where it's like, okay, that's not what we're about. We're about like happiness and like bringing people laughs and smiles and putting people in good moods. 100%. And sometimes you're like, hey, this could be a bad one. Like this could end up being like a tearjerker where we just sit here and like, at the end we're just goosebumps the whole episode.
It's not always bad.
No, it's not always bad, but you want to have good times. You want to have good conversations, good energy, good vibes, and like good stories and share things. And you want to get along with your guests.
100%.
But that's why I'll write it down too. Same thing. I hope I have a good pod today.
Yeah.
I hope I remember once I hope I don't get traffic on my way downtown today. That's what would make
I should have wrote that in mind, but maybe it would have helped.
That's why you got traffic on the way down. But it's the little things.
It is.
Hey, I hope I don't get mad today.
Yeah, but like you get to control that too. Like, and that's the aspect of it that's so cool is like I can control how I respond to that situation. Yeah. Do I want that to be like the thing that ruins my day? No. It's fine.
But it's like you said about the seconds, right? Like, would you get mad would you throw away the $8,000 or whatever for $10? No, you wouldn't. Yeah. Me and Danielle, when we're on the phone, some days I'm driving. I think everybody's a bad driver. There's so many days I'm like, Danielle, this fucking guy in front of me doesn't know how to drive this. So-and-so is terrible. This person cut me off, blah, blah. Yeah. Literally 10 seconds later, I'm like, okay, so we doing the concert? You want to meet at mine? We meet at yours? We having drinks before? What are we eating? Yeah. Just like, you let it go, right? Because you can't let it ruin your day.
No, and that's the cool part about it. So like with all the adversity that I have faced and all that and connecting with those audiences and even just like waking up every day and soaking up the world, there's so much to life. And for me, I've had chances where I shouldn't be here and situations with my injuries that I probably shouldn't be the way I am today, but to make the most of all I got and the time that I have is something I continue to do every day.
Man, I love it.
I know. How do you manage it all? You're in chiropractic school, which is a very hard program to get into. Yeah. You're speaking engagements. Yeah. You just wrote a book. Yeah. Like,
I have.
How many more things can you do?
I have a mentorship program for type 1 diabetic children too.
Mentorship program.
The foundation.
Never ending.
First off, for those who don't know, Danielle actually was gonna go to the same school that you were in.
Yes.
We were talking about this off air. So Danielle knows what it's like to be in, or maybe not knows. To be in this program,
I went through the process of like applying and everything. Like like it's a very hard program to get into. Like, good for you.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks.
So, question: how do you manage it?
I think the big thing is like focusing on doing things at the right time, and time management is huge for at least me in my life. So like, for example, this morning, I like to work out every day or at least do something physically active. Even on like a day off, I'll stretch. Like, it's just like, that's how I am. And so for me, I got my workout in this morning at 8 and then I got like some work done before. I talked to a couple of my diabetes today, which is like part of the mentorship program.
I love that name, too, diabetes.
Yeah, diabetes, because I want them to feel beautiful for their difference. But beauty is also like a hockey term too. Yeah, so like diabetes, combining it. But I think the big thing is just time management and focusing on being productive in that time, because we have all this time in the day. And what we do in that time,
technically, you have really less time actually, because you said I watched an interview where you said you need like 8 to 10 hours of sleep, or else like you don't function properly.
Yes, I do. I need at least like 8 to 10. Yeah, and then I wouldn't actually have full capacity of functioning due to my brain injury that I suffered. So it's really
you actually have less time than the rest of us.
Yeah, I guess then if you count 6 hours of a normal sleep. Then
6 to 8, so you're basically down 2 hours.
Yeah, so okay, I'm down 2 hours, but in those
you still done,
yeah. So like, I want to get stuff done, so I do the stuff that I want to do, and then I prioritize what needs to be done first, and it's just kind of executing in the time that we got. I think that's the biggest thing that has really helped me be able to do all this stuff and still like keep my head on my shoulders, not go down dark episodes or have like tough days. Like, I've been really able to focus on things that uplift me, and I even like read one book a day, but it's through an app called Headway, and they give you like the key cold notes of the book. So it's like 20 minutes max, and I read on 1.5 times speed. So like it goes maybe less, that's like 15 minutes or even a little bit less. And it's super cool because I get knowledge of a book in night while I'm brushing my teeth. And I'll brush my teeth, get ready for bed, do my little face routine kind of thing. And then that's like a book that I read in a day. So I try to continue to develop myself, and it's crazy when I tell people these things because they're like, how do you do all this stuff? But it's like executing in the time and prioritizing.
I love that.
Yeah.
Before we do wrap up, because we're kind of nearing that point, the book, obviously wrote a book. Fucking amazing, first off.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thanks.
It's still out, Crossroads. Tell us about it. Obviously, you know, you're sharing kind of your stories and kind of similar to what we're talking about here on the pod, but why'd you decide to write it? What's the idea? Obviously, we know the idea behind it, but why'd you decide to write it? And kind of what was that process like?
So when I first got asked about it, I really didn't want to write a book, to be honest. I had like so many things on the go. I was with like 4 things with York University. I was a student athlete. I had a brain injury. I still have my brain injury, but like I was just kind of understanding my brain injury, and I was like, yeah, no. And so I turned it away and kept coming back. More people telling me I should write a book, more offers. Kept turning it away, and I was like, I don't want to write this. And then it got to the point where I started asking like people in my life like what they thought. They're like, yeah, like for sure. So I was still pretty against it. I have an agency, and my agent's with like Talent Bureau, and his name's Jeff Lowe. Is amazing, like one of my best friends. And so he was like, okay, like we have a couple offers online. We need to give them a date that you decide if you want to go through this or not. So we gave him a date, and at the time I was saying no. So I was sitting in class one day, and this was like I needed to decide by Tuesday, and the class session was Monday night. I had to class Monday night, 7 p.m., Prospects and Perils of Globalization.
I love how he remembers the exact class.
Yeah.
He's like, I was sitting third row.
I was front and center.
You know,
yeah.
Jessica was to my right. Mark was to my left. Like, couldn't do
Yeah, and so like I was front row, and literally center. So I'm a huge nerd. I love school. I love learning, and I'm proud of it. I don't even care. We need nerds in this world, anyways.
Man, graduated 4.0, right, or 80% or something. Magna Cum Laude.
Yeah. But thank you. It was a huge nerd. But so sitting front and center, he walks up, and every class he like walks in a little bag and like goes strutts up to the front and like sets his bag down. And when he comes up to the mic, he either says something like super controversial, gets the whole class going, says like a quote or a statistic. So today he said a quote, and he looked me straight in the eye. I'm talking like straight in the eye. And he says, when you want to change the world, it starts with you. So I'm sitting in class there, and it absolutely just
fucking goosebumps
hit me so hard, because I did want to change the world. I was doing lots of stuff. I was volunteering with like 4 different organizations as a national ambassador for 3. I had my own program. Like I was like doing lots, and I was like, I'm writing a book. I turned to my roommate. I'm like, I'm writing a book. Turned to my teammate. I'm writing a book. They're like, you don't even read. What do you mean you're writing a book? Like, what? And I'm like, no, I'm writing a book. And they're like, what? Are you on something? I was like, no, like I'm going to write a book. And they're like, what the heck? So no one knew that I was actually talking to different publishers. But I was talking like Penguin Random House and HarperCollins. And they had offers for both of them. And so I went back the next day and said, yeah, I'm writing a book. Let's do this. So after that, I wanted to help leave a positive impact and help other people through my story. So the big thing is I donate all my proceeds to Stars Air Ambulance. Amazing. Who like help save lives every single day. And they're saved lives on April 6th, 2018 for my teammates. And then also like truly make a difference in rural communities of prairies especially. And then also was able to talk about like hope, family resilience, mental health, emotional health, sports, community, teamwork, lots of things that I think are really valuable, even like death and perception, and like some of the harder topics that people kind of shy away from. I really wanted to bring to light and hopefully help other people throughout my journey. So it's been so fortunate and grateful for the whole experience. And it's crazy just a year and a half later now. Yeah. Still surreal.
Amazing. I got one last question actually before we wrap up. I have a lot of tattoos. A lot of mine have no meaning at all. I think they're just cool looking tattoos. I have a feeling yours have meaning.
Yeah, they do.
What? So the big piece on your forearm.
Yeah. So I have, I guess, a front and a back. The back we'll do first. So this part is my diabetic part from like here down. So it says type 1 diabetic. It's got the Medi Alert logo. But it also has a needle in the logo, and the needle is dripping the 1. It was just like a little creative thing. I wanted to design it myself, so I did that. And it's got 16 because that's been my number ever since I was a little kid. And it has so much meaning to me.
Wait, why 16?
It was my dad's number growing up, actually.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, and then after that, he was like, "You should pick 16." So that's how I got it.
Yeah, but growing up playing hockey, they only go to like 14 or something. So how'd you get 16?
I don't know how I got it. I think our jerseys went to 18, I believe.
Oh, they went to 18. Okay.
Yeah, so
Saskatoon thing.
It's a Sasky thing.
Huge
it's a Sasky thing. Well, there's only two teams, right? So they probably went up to 20.
Probably, honestly. But no, yeah, so I was able to get 16. Like, it was my first number I ever had. So really meant a lot. But then I have a map of Sask in the back for just like my roots will always be there because I have a compass. And that's like the main kind of piece for my family. And I have positive over negative in the compass to always find the positive direction. And I have M for my dad, Mark, A for my mom, Anita, on east and west. And then their birth dates on either side. And then 2 ropes. One for each parent because we're so tight and I'm only a child. So we're a super tight-knit family, and I wanted that to be resembled. Then on this side is the Humboldt side, and it's like my memorial aspect. I talk about it really vividly in chapter 16 of the book, but I'll give you the cold notes here because it's like that chapter was probably the hardest chapter to write because it's like the memorial chapter, but it's also the most beautiful and my favorite chapter in the book. But so I have some little grassroots here popping up from, this is in a scene in Saskatoon, just to give you some background context. So I have some grassroots for the people here. And the whole idea is that we all came from different grassroots, different backgrounds, and we're all rooted into who we are. And then I got ice on the Saskatoon River, and that's where we played the game, was through hockey on ice. So I have like some skate marks, which is like eerie in a sense of like saying that the marks were always like going to be on me forever, in mentally, physically, emotionally. Like no matter what, I'll always have that with me. And I have the puck and the stick just because we bonded through hockey. I have a bridge here of Saskatoon with the Delta Besbro. It's like more of the Saskatoon landmark. And the bridge was actually built during the Great Depression. And it was to help other people. So that was where I'd go to heal after the crash. And I would literally go there to get away from everybody because it was so like, you walking around, you have your hair dyed, you're recognized, instantly recognized. So I would go away. And then I have 13 birds flying in a V formation into light rays to find the light in the darkness. And that will always be together as the 13 survivors. And then I have 16 stars for the ones who passed away. And they always shine bright in the darkest of times, too. And they were always stars on this earth. So for me, this was something that I really wanted to commemorate the crash, but also to be something that meant a lot, that people had to ask about, and I'd be willing to share with them rather than, it says Humboldt Broncos or things like that. So it really does mean a lot.
That was good.
Yeah.
No, that was good.
Amazing.
Here I am with, eagles on my thighs just because I thought they looked cool. That was good.
Well, thank you.
I actually do think that's a pretty good note to end on. Actually, one more, last one. We'll end on a little bit of a happier note. I guess if there was a movie about your life, who would you want to play you? Could be anyone from any point in time.
I honestly don't want a movie on my life, to be honest.
Well, you said there was no book either, so maybe one day we'll do it. There'll be a movie.
You're right. I was told never to say never.
There we go.
But yeah, I'd say it'd be cool to have like Tom Cruise. But like,
okay,
Tom Cruise is sick. He's a cool guy.
He's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like you can see like a Ryan Reynolds or something.
Ryan Reynolds would be really cool, actually.
Ryan Reynolds, a good like Canadian boy.
Yeah, I go Ryan Reynolds for sure. And even like, yeah.
It's your movie.
I'm going to stay. No, I like that. I'm sticking with Ryan Reynolds. That's my guy. Yeah.
All right,
That's
man.
Cool. What about you?
My answer used to be Ashton Kutcher.
Okay.
I just feel like he could play like a funny dude. He's also pretty chill.
I like that.
Yeah.
I
think I'd go Ashton Kutcher. Danny, who would play you? Who did you say? Did
Reese
you say
Witherspoon.
Rachel McAdams?
No, Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, Reese Witherspoon. Yeah.
I like that.
I'm
she's Reese Witherspoon for sure.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, Kaleb, man, thanks for coming on. This was honestly amazing. Like, you're a phenomenal speaker. You're a great guest. Like, your storytelling and the way you look at life is truly amazing. And I do believe you inspire thousands of people every time you kind of just open your mouth, or anytime you walk into a room. You're an inspiration. So thank you for sitting down with us. This was awesome. If people want to find out more about you, your speaking arrangements, your book, anything, where can they go? How can they find you?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the kind words. It means a lot. So you can find me at www.kalebdahlgren.com. super basic. It's Kaleb with a K. A lot of people think it's a C. And social media is just at Kaleb Dahlgren too. It's nothing too crazy. Don't have any numbers or anything like crazy. No. I try to keep it low key, keep it easy. So yeah, that's the way you find me. But honestly, I hope it connects with people. I hope this can help somebody going through a tough time and hopefully make them a little bit happier.
We always say as long as it helps at least one person, which honestly I think I took something out of this. So if it doesn't help anybody, at least you helped me on this one. So I appreciate you coming in, sitting down with us. It sucks that Georgie wasn't here because I know he would have loved this one too. But yeah, man, you're welcome to come back on anytime you want. Maybe we'll do this maybe after some of the speaking arrangements, or maybe we'll get you on during hockey season or something. We'll tell some more stories. Yeah. Maybe after that trip to Vegas or something.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's going to happen eventually. I just don't know when. Okay. But yeah, I would love to do that. It'd be amazing.
Well, we'll figure something out. I like this. And if you made it to the end of this, we appreciate you guys. Thanks for living. Give Kaleb a follow on Instagram, socials, all those fun things. Share this with your friends. And until next time, pals. Cheers.
See you, pals.
You like to drink and to smoke to take away the pain. And I don't remember all of my mistakes and every high. Got alone with no one thing. You're not alright. I'm not